They would certainly hear. No, we can't depend on a Dr. King. We need we need dozens of Dr. Kings, neighborhood by neighborhood, block by block, city by city. They don't. They need to. Right. We can't clue them in on who to shoot next because they will kill you.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I feel Detroit is in the. I've been saying this. If I were to describe this city, Tracy, I would call it a city that is in a crisis of conscience. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where the city is. It's a crisis of conscience.
Because there's no courage. A tale of two cities.
Yeah, we have the rich and the poor. But there's no courage. We have folks who are afraid. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to upset the apple cart. They don't want to make some people in city government mad. They're simply afraid they don't have any courage. And they'll rather whisper to you about how they feel than come out publicly and say it.
Exactly.
And I'm saying, no, don't talk to me. Yeah, I don't speak for you. Mm-hmm. I don't speak for you. Because you know what? You know what the deal is. You don't have the high-powered position. You have the big title. You're the one that gets recognized at all the galas. You speak for yourself. Don't speak through me. I want to speak for those that don't have a voice.
But, one thing that Dr. King was able to do is inspire people en masse. And maybe that's, that whole adage about strength in numbers. And maybe that's what people need, it is a lonely quest, to stick your neck out. And I'm not excusing, I'm just explaining the behavior.
Got you, but we have a severe class divide within Black Detroit.
Totally.
A severe class divide, and yet someone like a Rick Snyder will take the word of a Jonathan Kinloch who represents the haves against the needs of the have-nots in Detroit. The have-nots are the ones that need a congressional vote on CHIP, the Child Health Insurance.
That's going to expire, in
protection?
Yeah.
The point I'm making is that there's no vote there. There's nobody to represent the people and the have-nots. And this class divide enables the systemic racism and the greed to manifest itself in policies diametrically opposed to the existence of the real Detroit, majority Detroit.
Yeah, the lack of courage. Dr. King's courage is very rare to find. If you find a group of people with the courage of Dr. King, please let me know. I would love to interview them.
Someone who was jailed at least 29 times. I mean, how many people are going to stick their neck out like that? To get beaten, to get assaulted,
Well, we got some folks who have been jailed 29 times. This is what were they jailed for? And whether or not we can take the formerly incarcerated and make them a political force. Mm-hmm. More people graduated from the University of Prisons living in Detroit than the University of Michigan.
Well, that's one thing about Michigan. Michigan does not dabble in the disenfranchisement of FIPS, formerly incarcerated persons, and that's good.
Right. Last year when I keep referring to these reports because, when you debate these guys, they like to tell you to prove studies. What are the numbers? What do the studies say? When the Future City Report, Auburn Institute, and Census Report came out last year, I said this, and I know some people that have no courage, they always look for political backing, okay? Sam or Tracy, I want to say this, but I need you to have my back, And I said, here was your cover, right? We know you support the mayor. We know you like the entire apparatus of government. I mean, that's fine. Nothing, but here was the cover for you. Right. There are studies that came out. You could simply write an op-ed. You could simply, ask the mayor a question. You could call into a radio and say, look, I'm bothered by this study. Right. I'm worried about this. Right. I can't go to sleep at night with this happening. Mm-hmm. But not one word from the civic leaders about the studies. Nothing. I mean, they ran away. Nothing. Not one word. I've not seen one op-ed in any of the papers, the Free Press or the Detroit News, about these civic leaders saying they're worried about economic inequality in this city, that they're concerned about this.
And they come up to me saying,
nothing.
I'm on the 13th floor, City County building. They're being sworn in last week. I can't tell you the number of names that you would recognize. They come up to me, shake my hand, and say, keep giving them hell, Sam. Keep giving them hell. I got to call you, but it's an after 5 call. Literally. That's what I was told. It's an after 5 call.
A lot of people came up to me yesterday, and I got those same similar conversation. But my issue here is speak for yourself. Mm-hmm. I mean, we here are speaking for people that don't have a voice.
Right.
I am not speaking for no HNIC. I don't do that.
No.
That's not what I don't exist to speak for HNIC.
That's right.
I'm not doing that. I'm speaking for those that don't have a voice. When I accepted the award yesterday at COPA, that's what I said. I accept this award on behalf of the many voiceless people who don't even have the access. But you have the access, you have the power, you have the resource. Then speak for people. And the studies came out, that is the biggest political cover. And the mayor is not going to be mad at you. You can say, look, don't be mad at me. I'm concerned about this study. You can easily say that.
Yeah.
But to not say a word, what else do you need for us to get you to get up and say something?
And I don't hate on Mayor Duggan. I literally don't hate. I will pick up the phone right now if I need something from this city and I want to talk about something with that mayor and call him. And guess what? He's been very receptive and his door has been open.
No, I don't dislike the mayor. I just have a critique of him, just like I've had critique of other politicians. He shook my hand yesterday at the reception for the award and said congratulations. I said thank you, Mr. Mayor, and kept walking. But the point is that if we have an economic crisis in this city, it's a tale of two cities.
Yes.
To suggest otherwise would be to live in sugar candy mountain.
Hey.
That's what's happening on the 11th
I mean,
floor,
you must be
sad to
living under
say.
a rock to think that, in fact, there are no tale of two cities. Detroit is the other Detroit, is the other America that King talked about.
Absolutely.
Well, Dr. King once said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
So what do we need to do? Do we need to go? None of us are ministers on here, but do we need to go on a prayer and fasting for 40 days for the civic leaders to step up and speak up?
They won't care. We're going to have to take more direct action than that. They don't care? I just don't believe they would care. It's not like when Gandhi did it. This is Detroit.
Wow.
They might toss you a bone.
Wow.
If you're lucky.
Dr. King said, soul force must meet physical force. I'll take soul force.
Me too.
I'll be out there with you.
I know you're on the Malcolm X train. That's okay.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. Sam Riddle is the political director for the Michigan chapter of the National Action Network. Trace Martin is an attorney and an activist. Thank you all for being here.
Pleasure to be
we'll
here.
be back tomorrow with more on Redline. Maybe we may have to go on a 40-day fasting for in the wilderness for the civic leaders to step up. I've not seen one. Not even an op-ed, not even a commentary, even call onto this show and say, I have a critique of the mayor. This is what I want to see. We need to see that. I mean, it's just unconscionable. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. Everybody was happy. Oh, King was this, King was that. And then later what happened?
I like your idea.
We're doing
Fasting for justice. I like that.
Interesting. Maybe the Southern Christian Leadership Conference can take that because I don't know.
You and Tracy line up.
I'm not an ordained minister.
Yeah.
I'll
so
bring
I
you
can't
water.
go that
You
route.
can do water. You can do water. I'll bring the water.
All right. Okay. Thank you so
in.
much. All right, then.
Thanks,
okay.
Bankley.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Bankley Thompson, take care. And Cliff Russell is up next.